Oh, this looks familiar again. Keep waking up early morning. I did eventually try to get some sleep. Of course, that was when my brain decided to think about a million things, so sleep was nearly impossible. I don't know how long I flopped back and forth trying to find a comfortable spot that would entice sleep. Too long. I had just finally started to drop off when the light in the bathroom flicked on, sending a warm glow of light up from the crack at the bottom. I rolled over, glaring that way. There was a shadow passing back and forth under the door, as if Spencer was pacing in front of it. What the heck is he doing? The door handle to my side jiggled slightly, causing me to sit up. Is he trying to get in here? In the silence, I could hear his feet shuffling back and forth, and... whispering? Uh-oh. That's no bueno. What is going on? No. Don't check it out. Play dead. See if he does like the whole when he tries to step past the barrier, because you put your barriers down. Let the barriers do the work. Oh, you know why? She didn't put a barrier down in front of his door. I was like, did she put a barrier down and the fairy couldn't get out that way? I was like, I'll try going out this way. Of course, I'm assuming it's a fairy, but it might not be a fairy. Also, what was that just flew in front of my face? Please tell me that wasn't a spider dropping down. Please tell me you were a fly, a friendly fly, and not a mosquito fly. Anyway. Play dead. I waited where I was, unwilling to get out of bed and see what he was doing. I just wanted to wait, see if he'd leave. And the footsteps did retreat. The light went out. And I heard his footsteps in the hall. Where is he going? So I investigated anyway. Okay, well that didn't really let me know anything, did it? I guess he doesn't know that I know what he doesn't know. I bit my lip and finally yanked the blankets back, deciding to follow. Something was definitely going on with him, and it was starting to worry me. I let myself out of my room in time to see him turn down the stairs to the kitchen. Stealing after him quietly... Hold on. Ah! Sorry, there is something flying in my face. Did I get it? I don't know. Anyway. I let myself out of my room in time to see him turn down the stairs to the kitchen. Stealing after him quietly, I wondered if it was like this when I was sleepwalking. Is that what he's doing? But why? And how the turns have tabled? When I reached the kitchen, I stopped at the top of the steps and watched silently as he shambled slowly to the door. He set his hand on the deadlock, turning it with a soft click. It wasn't until he reached for the doorknob that I hissed his name. Well, at least you're nicer than your brother. Spencer! What are you doing? He stopped and looked back at me, his face strangely blank. Concerned, I padded over to him, shivering as my feet hit the cold tile. Spencer. I have to go. You have to go to bed. Come on. I took him by the arm and started leading him back upstairs. He never said another word, just followed compliantly. All the way up to his room, into his bed where I tucked him in. Okay. I brushed his hair away from his forehead worriedly. This was wrong. Very, very wrong. A glance at the clock on my way out told me the time was nearly 3 a.m. Again. With a frown, I returned to my room trying to figure out what was going on. It felt like there were only two options. Either Spencer's night terrors were back, or, for some reason, the fairy switched their attention to him. And I was going to go with the latter, because there was something distinctly unnatural about all of this. Or supernatural. I couldn't believe it was some weird coincidence. But why? Spencer's behavior reminded me of my sleepwalking, but it was clearly different as well. He wasn't just heading straight for the woods or the bridge. He was lurking around, trying to get in my room. Allie said fairies could influence dreams, even control sleeping humans. Since Spencer being a changeling made no sense, it felt like it must be something more like that. But why? Unless the foxglove ritual had cut them off from influencing me anymore, so they had to use him. But this was going on before we even got the changeling situation dealt with. So, I don't know. I fell into bed too exhausted and sick to worry more about it. I slept only fitfully until morning, waking up frequently to check doors, but everything was silent the rest of the night. I didn't feel at all like going to school in the morning, but I wanted to talk to Allie. And not over text. I got myself up and started to get dressed, until Mom caught me. She cornered me in the bathroom and did the usual forehead check.
You still feel warm.
I'm fine.
You're not fine. Look at those circles under your eyes. And your voice is still hoarse.
Mom!
Back to bed. Spencer caught what you have and you're both staying home.
Spencer sick?
I have to close on a house this morning, then 2 viewings this afternoon, and then I'll be back. I want you both to rest. There's no reason to send you to school now only for you to relapse in a couple of days because you didn't rest enough.
But
I can't believe you honestly want to go to school.
I do!
Bed. Now!
I let out a frustrated sigh and retreated under her watchful gaze. She was only satisfied when I was laying with the blankets up to my chin. But as soon as she was gone, I grabbed my phone and texted Allie. Still sick. Big problems.
What? What's happening?
Spencer, something wrong. He's sleepwalking, acting really weird. Not normal weird.
I'll stop by soon. Mom working today?
For a while.
We can say I'm bringing homework if we need to.
Sounds good. We'll tell you when she leaves. For one blissful day, I'd been able to think that maybe this would all be over. Now it looked like I was definitely too hopeful with that thought. Mom left a short time after that and the house was silent. I texted Allie, then tiptoed into the bathroom to listen at Spencer's door. Not a peep. I know he couldn't have caught my supposed bug. Not if the reason I was feeling under the weather was from that foxglove mixture. So I wasn't sure what was wrong with him. Pretending he was sick so he could stay home and spy on me? Or were the late night escapades having an impact on him? I would say probably the latter. I knew how that was. I'd been a zombie for days because of that nonsense. It made me angry. The idea they were messing with him to get to me. I hated it so very much. I finally headed downstairs to wait for Allie. I wasn't sure when she was going to try to stop by. Maybe I could do another sweep through the house without Spencer noticing? I decided to definitely give it a shot. But for now, coffee to clear my head. I was in the middle of making that when I decided I was hungry too, so I finished the carton of eggs from the fridge, thinking I'd poach one to have with toast. Oh, hello. Nice of you to join us, sir. I was just getting that started when I heard shuffling footsteps on the stairs. I tensed and glanced back worriedly, half expecting to see creepy, sleepwalking Spencer shambling toward me. Instead, it was just normal sleepy Spencer standing on the bottom step watching me. He definitely looked the way I'd been feeling a few days ago. Poor guy. Want an egg? Toast? Coffee? Hey, be careful about cooking for people. I don't drink coffee. Hot chocolate? Tea? I'll make you something if you want. Just tea. Well, I trust us to make him some tea. He half mumbled it as he shuffled to a stool and flopped down. I bit my lip as I filled the kettle and set it to boil. In the meantime, I broke my egg into a little bowl, looking down at the shell. I had no idea how accurate any of the books actually were, but maybe... I mean, Brenna kind of scoffed at the idea. Still, it couldn't hurt to try, just to be completely sure. I cautiously filled one side of the eggshell with water. I'm sure he won't think anything of this. What are you doing? What's it look like? I have no idea. Something weird, as usual. I narrowed my eyes at him. That wasn't much of a reaction. If anything, anyone would find it weird to try to boil water in an eggshell, right? I sighed and dumped the water out before tossing the shells. I mean, I'd already decided he wasn't a changeling anyway, so it's not like I had really expected anything. A moment later, Spencer stood, the stool scraping against the floor as he started back to the stairs. Going to try to sleep. What about your tea? Forget it. I'll bring it up when it's done. He grunted in response. How very manly of him. Indeed. I leaned against the counter and stared behind him long after he was gone. And then the water started to boil, and I was distracted with my impromptu breakfast and Spencer's tea for a while. It wasn't until after I had cleaned everything up that I heard a car pull up out front. My phone chimed at the same time.
Sorry it took a while to get away. Where can we talk?
Give me a sec. Thank goodness. I wiped my hands and went quietly to the front, letting myself outside just as Allie was coming up to the porch.
Hey, just wanted to stop by and give you some homework.
She said it loudly, peering around me to the inside as she brandished some worksheets. I shut the door behind me and pulled Allie back toward her car. Spencer's up in his room, sleeping.
What the heck is going on?
I don't know. He's been sleepwalking, I guess? Moving around at night, trying to get in my room. I can hear him muttering to himself, whispering. All I can think of is when I was doing the same thing. But it doesn't make sense. If I was sleepwalking because I was a changeling, why is Spencer doing it? His being a changeling as well just doesn't add up.
Well, maybe it's not that he's a changeling then. The Fae could still be influencing him somehow. If he's trying to get into your room, maybe you're their target and now they're just using him to get to you.
I had that thought as well, but why? To try to lure me out? Drag me out by force?
Either one? Both? Their power is on an upswing right now due to Samhain, so maybe they're feeling particularly bold since they have plenty of time before the end of Overflow to get you back.
What do we do?
I told Velos as much as I know, but you have to understand that the agency doesn't usually get too involved in fairy business. It's nearly impossible to police them anyway. At most, they might be able to offer some protection until Overflow is over.
Well, they're useless.
I'm thinking we might want to just get you out of the house and see what happens. If you're the target, they'll leave Spencer alone and try to follow you.
But my brother... And what if they hurt Spencer while I'm gone?
If they intended to hurt anyone, they would have already. We can't ask them what they want, so we just have to trick them into showing their hand.
I don't like the idea of leaving. Someone has to keep an eye on things.
We're hardly going to abandon your family and let the Fae do what they want. I have an idea. One that'll let us get you to a safe place, and that'll let us keep an eye on your family in case they have something else up their collective sleeve.
And what plan is that exactly?
Just sit tight. I need to make some arrangements first, okay?
Great. She handed over the worksheets she brought.
Just in case you need evidence my visit was legit.
Thanks. Anxious and unsure what Allie had planned, I took the worksheets back inside. The house was still quiet. Ugh, I still felt kind of ill, and I really wanted to be able to just rest. As it was, it didn't seem like resting was really in the stars for me at this point. I headed up to my bedroom, pausing in the door. I wasn't sure why, but it felt like someone had been in there. Spencer and the brownie were the only two options, but I was used to the brownie already. Spencer? I peeked through the bathroom. His side was open, and he appeared to be asleep in bed. But why would he have been in my room? Just normal brotherly snooping? Did that mean he was pretending to feel bad? Man, I hated this. It was like we just switched from his being suspicious of me to the other way around. It'd be true. Fairies suck. I went back and flopped on my bed, throwing my arm across my eyes. I didn't want it to be this way. Rolling over, I stared at the light drifting through the curtains. What happens now? Several hours passed before Allie texted me again. She told me to sneak out if I could and head towards the bridge. Oh, now you want me to go to the bridge? The bridge, huh? Felt weirdly like everything kind of went back to the bridge for some reason. I wondered why that was. Going down there was starting to feel kind of ominous. Starting? Or maybe all this sneaking around was just starting to get to me. Either way, I got ready quickly anyway, eager to hear what she had in mind. The house had become oppressive. Nice dressed. I was surprised to find Spencer sitting at the kitchen table when I got there. I didn't hear him leave his room. He had one of Mom's old scrapbooks open in front of him. Ooh. But closed it as soon as he heard me. I'm feeling a little better. Wanted to go get some fresh air. I think I'm going to go for a walk. He didn't acknowledge that, so I quietly headed out of the kitchen.
It's strange.
I stopped and glanced back at him.
Since we got back, I've been dreaming about the past a lot. Sometimes it feels like I've forgotten something really important.
He set a hand on the scrapbook and frowned down at it.
How do you live? Feeling like there's some kind of hole in your mind.
I bit my lip anxiously, wondering what he was talking about. You just live. Because that's all you can do. He looked really, really tired. And really, really sad. He was still sitting there when I left a few minutes later. Well, you don't have to be so cryptic, Spencer. I wasn't expecting to find Allie with Ewan and Drayson? All three of them were waiting for me on this treed path that ran alongside the road. There was a thin veil of trees that shielded it from view of the street. On the other side was just woods.
Hey! How are things?
Well, normal, I guess. He's only being weird at night, usually before 3 a.m. Which, I mean, I guess that just aligns with what I thought about the Fae being involved. As soon as it hits 3, everything goes back to normal.
Sounds about right for fairies.
I even tried to kind of test him a bit earlier.
Tess?
Well, I did that, you know, eggshell thing, where you boil water in front of a changeling.
You did the eggshell test.
He broke into laughter at that, so much so that he actually had to turn away to collect himself a bit. Ewan! Hey, I'm desperate for answers here. It was the only changeling test I could remember.
Ewan, stop laughing. It's mean. Sorry. I've just never heard of someone actually trying that.
I punched him on the arm, but it made him laugh harder. You are such a creep.
Okay, enough. This isn't helping. Jeez, Ewan.
Sorry.
He was still laughing quietly to himself, though. And he didn't look sorry at all. What's the plan exactly?
Well, I do think we should get you out of the house. Separating the two of you means we'll confirm it's you they want. And hopefully exactly what they're up to. I mean, we're assuming they're trying to use him to drag you out of your room or something. They might just be harassing you. And we're dealing with Fae. We can't discount the possibility they're up to something totally different. Their motives are tricky to guess.
That's all good and well, but how are we going to convince my parents to let me leave? They don't care about fairies and paranormal things. They care about school nights and homework.
Well, you're sick right now, so that helps. We'll just be giving you a replacement.
A what now?
A replacement!
No, I heard you, but... What? And why did Drayson smile when you said that? Oh no. No one is going to buy Drayson as me, please. Please, anybody else. Oh no, this is gonna end so badly.
We'll use fairy glamour to disguise someone else as you. They'll stay at your place at least overnight and observe the situation. You can be in touch with them over text.
Wait, so it's not you that's going to replace me? Wait, she said glamour. I looked at Ewan dubiously.
It's not going to be me. I'm just here to do the setup.
Drayson?
Yup.
Sorry, let me get this straight. Ewan is going to use fairy glamour to disguise Drayson as me. Drayson is going to spend at least one night in my house pretending to be me while I go elsewhere and send him tips and advice over the phone.
Yeah. I mean, if you say it like that, it does sound kind of...
How is Drayson supposed to convince everybody that he's me? Allie, if anybody had a chance, it would be you. Oh no. There's so many ways this can go badly. Stupid? Like we're stuck in a really bad comedy?
Hey, I had to come up with this plan on short notice. I considered asking Brenna to stay in your place, but...
No! No, that's not going to work. Can you? I mean, Drayson and I don't exactly look similar.
Don't worry. I can handle at least that much.
Don't say it as if making him look like me is an easy task.
I also brought a fairy stone with me to help increase the magic effect.
Look, Spencer has been saying I'm an imposter for 5 years. And now we're actually putting an imposter in the house with him. If he suspects anything...
I'll be really careful.
I don't know about this. Wouldn't it be better if you just stayed the night with me?
You think your mom would go for that while you're sick? On a school night?
No, but we could sneak you in?
You think if Spencer saw that, he'd freak out less?
No.
Look, this isn't just to spy on him. It's to get you out of there too. I think it's really important we split the two of you up and watch what happens. It's the only way to know for sure what they're up to, who they're after. As much as I don't want to say this, we can't ignore the possibility they're lashing out at your family in anger. Seeing what they do when you're not there will really help us figure out what's going on. I'm not sure of another way to do it that won't alert your parents.
It just seems extreme.
Being kidnapped by fairies wasn't extreme?
Well, it was.
We need to know what's happening. With Samhain a few days away especially.
Okay. Fine, let's do it. Need anything from me?
Actually...
We need a lock of hair. It's not totally necessary for the glamour spell, but it's going to work a lot better if we have something of yours when Ewan sets it up.
I wasn't sure how I felt about giving some of my hair to a witch, a fairy, and a unicorn, but...
You totally look doubtful about this.
Well, a little.
It'll be fine. I'll just snip some from underneath the back.
I let out a long sigh. Fine. I turned away and lifted the back of my hair, still really unsure about it as Allie snipped some of my hair. I stood with my arms wrapped around myself as Drayson pulled his hair loose from the braid so Ewan and Allie could help him weave the lock of my hair into his own. Okay. It was all so weird, but I suppose it wasn't any weirder than anything else that had happened lately.
Okay, all set.
He glanced up at the sky.
Noon isn't the best time of day to cast fairy magic, but I guess we don't have much choice.
He held his hands up in front of Drayson's face, concentrating. Allie stepped back, giving him room. And then... Well, that is... rather uncanny. It's very strange to see myself from this far away. Also, now that I can see, like, Nora and Ewan, like, right next to each other, they're super cute. Just saying. Do you sound like me, or do you sound like Drayson? What do you think? This is creepy. I'm creepy? That's not... No, you're not creepy. I'm sorry. It's just weird seeing myself like this. I seriously couldn't handle him at all. I just sighed as I studied him, trying really hard to not think about all the implications of him looking like me. Well, you did a good job.
Thanks.
Drayson tipped his head to the side, wearing a really, really not me sort of expression as he watched me. Then his eyes, my eyes, went really wide. Someone's coming. I think it's Winston. Who's Huh? Oh. I didn't even get the sentence out all the way. Ewan closed the distance between us, and hooking one arm around my waist, basically leaped into the trees with me before shoving me into the underbrush. That is very impressive. Darn, that fly is still alive. Go away. I'm busy. I lay under him, completely winded as I listened to Allie follow us a little more slowly, and sounding suspiciously like she's trying to not laugh. At least we got hidden just in time, though. Winston? Oh gosh, well, I guess we're gonna find out if this is working.
There you are. I thought you were going for a short walk.
Wait, did he just call Spencer... Oh no. Why? Why Winston? Oh gosh, I knew this was gonna just fail horribly. Winston! Yep. I stared up at Ewan, who was kind of crouching above me as he silently face-palmed. Next to us, Allie was biting her hand to keep from laughing. My doubts that Drayson could pull this off just skyrocketed. Though I was at least glad we got off the path before he saw us both. I couldn't imagine what would have happened if Spencer showed up and there were two of me.
Very funny. Mom has been texting. She wants you home and in bed, now.
Oh! Right. Yeah, I was just coming back. I'm feeling pretty, tired and sick and stuff. He coughed awkwardly. Allie, I'm going to kill you. Spencer was silent for a minute. I could totally imagine the look on his face.
Whatever. Just get home.
Right away. Oh, let's walk together. I have never sounded that chipper in my life. Their footsteps started to fade as they started back to the house together.
What the heck are you doing? Get off me!
I just wanted to hold your hand a little. Oh no. Oh, so bad.
What the heck is wrong with you?
What? But we're brother and sister, right? Their voices faded and I let out a strangled groan. If Spencer makes him cry, you have my permission to hit him. Just once.
Drayson will be fine.
If you say so. He looked around the tree, then stood, pulling me to my feet as well.
Sorry about that. I might have panicked.
I noticed. We both looked at Allie, who was still crouched down by a tree, her shoulders shaking. She looked up at us, tears forming at the giggle as the giggles finally started. It wasn't that funny.
I hope you realize this is a serious situation, Allie.
Betty
tried to hold hands.
She could barely breathe. She was laughing so hard at this point. I say we just leave her here.
I'm for it.
We both started to climb back onto the path. Allie scrambled after us, finally managing to get a hold of herself. I glanced back toward the house worriedly. Will he really be alright?
I know he seems like an airhead. He's just immature, though. He'll be fine. He's really sensitive to fey magic, so despite appearances, he's the perfect person to put in there to figure out what they're doing to your brother.
I wonder if he can communicate with the brownie at all, because maybe the brownie can be like, yo, this is what's been going on. And be like, understood. I will repeat your message to everybody. I hope you're right.
Let's get you situated for the night. I think it's going to be a long one.
No kidding. I cast another long look toward home as the three of us started away. I just really, really hope this actually helped us learn something and just end all this for good.